tree and the leaf is just quite profound. And one thing I'm curious about is, speaking about this intersection of Mahayana and Theravada, your path, obviously you're in Theravada robes, but your life has also been framed in so many ways in robes as a gift. And I think one of the first indications I saw of that on your website, at least, or on the Dhammacettiya website, is the vow you made. And it's phrased in quite profound and powerful language of lifetimes. So would you talk about what inspired you to make your vow and why you made, or what it is?
Yes, Ajahn. This is where it started with. Back then when I just ordained, newly ordained, and then I try to learn more about Buddhism. I went online on YouTube and then start to search about Dhamma talk and things like that. Try to listen, to learn more, to get more knowledge about it. And then I came across to some of the talk is just said that for those ladies who accidentally got pregnant and have to deport their babies. And then if they already done that, then just get one of the sutta called Địa Tạng Kinh in Mahayana tradition. It's a Địa Tạng Kinh Bồ-Tát. It's one of the bodhisattva that is well known in Mahayana tradition. Địa Tạng is about the earth bodhisattva.
First or Jizu bodhisattva.
Probably was. And so they say that just write that down about him, write his name down, Địa Tạng Vương Bồ Tát, and write that sutta down for 1,000 times. Then their karma about deportation of the baby will be wiped out, will be removed completely. And I was like, really? Is this something the Buddha taught? Is it really that Buddha teach all this? How can it be? Because this is just like, this is not right at all for me. But by that time, I didn't know much about Buddhism. And keep thinking, and I learned about Tipitaka. And I start to read more about it. And I found out that, all those things that taught online and then, is taught by many teachers and many monks, and they always claim that this is the Buddha teaching, this is the Buddha teachings, but obviously it wasn't, right? If they want people to understand, if they want people to follow, then they claim those to be the Buddha teachings. And so those are misleading. And a lot of people follow and believe in that, right? And I asked myself, this generation, my generations, we still have knowledge to understand what is right, what is wrong. But come to the Buddha teachings, all his teachings, we are completely blind like this. And what about the future? My students and my students, what about them? What are they gonna base on to study, to practice? Because later on, it will be much more misleading teachings, right? And so I was worried so much about the future generation because of all these things that I read and listened online. And I told myself, I need to do something. I need to do something to preserve the true Dhamma for the future generations. But by that time, I didn't know what to do. I just have that kind of mindset, that thought. And then I get to go to India once with my teachers and the Lady Buddhis here. when I entered into the Bodh Gaya area by far away outside, and I be able to see the Bodhi Tree and the top of the stupa, and I cry. I break down and cry a lot about standing outside looking in. I cry, and I didn't know why. And then I went inside and paid homage to the Buddha and Bodhi Tree. And then I sat there under the Bodhi Tree to meditate for a while. And then in my mind, I would just wish, what can I do? What should I do to protect the Buddha Dhamma, to preserve it, and to spread it widely? And then continue meditating. After a while, I see some of the top of the jetty. So when I keep seeing all those spear of the jetty in my mind, and I was thinking, okay, then I should do something. I should do something about building the stupa sites to preserve all the Buddha teachings, right? And so when I seen all those spears of the jetty in my head, and I think that, okay, I should build a site to preserve all the Buddha teachings. But to build a site, you have to have a large land and a decent number of the jetty, the stupa, in order to inscribe all those suttas on it. And I wanted to do it in stone, because this is the way to preserve it longer in this world. And so by that time, I made a vow under the Bodhi tree. From here on, I made a vow that I will build, if I have a chance, I will build the stupa sites to preserve the Buddha Dhamma. And that will last for 1,000 years for all the future generation to get to learn the true Dhamma. But I didn't know that, how many languages I should put in there, or how many countries that actually have the Tipitaka in Pali. So I just make that wish, that vow under the Bodhi tree. Just one vow under the Bodhi tree, and then I went to sightseeing for many other sacred places of the Buddha. And I continue making that vows. But when I make that vows under the Bodhi tree, I feel like when I close my eye, I feel like my body is moving. It's just like everything is moving. And so that is the feeling, the sensation that I would never forget. Right? And then after that vow in both under the Bodhi tree of the Bodh Gaya, it took 7 years for me to continue with that vow silently. So everything I do, any wholesome deeds and wholesome things that I cultivate or I do, I just continue to making that vows, wishing that one day my vow will come true, that I be able to do it.
When we stand in the shade of the Bodhi tree, time seems to pause. The leaves whisper ancient truths, and the air carries something greater than our individual lives. Today's conversation with Venerable Bhikkhu Pannakara touches that same sacred ground. Wearing the saffron robes of the Theravada tradition, yet deeply aware of the wider Buddhist world, Venerable Pannakara began his monastic life with a simple but strong intention to understand the Buddha's teachings clearly. Like many people today, he turned to the internet and YouTube in search of authentic Dhamma talks. What he found troubled him deeply. He came across teachings, especially in some Mahayana communities, suggesting that women who had faced an unplanned pregnancy and chosen abortion could write the name of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, the earth store Bodhisattva, also known as Jizo, 1,000 times, and by doing so, the karma of that decision would be completely erased. He paused and asked himself with sincerity, Is this truly what the Buddha taught? As he studied further and turned to the Tipitaka, the Pali Canon that preserves the Adi Buddha's words most directly, he began to see clearly. Many teachings shared online as the Buddha's teaching were later additions, cultural practices, or interpretations that had drifted away from the original Dhamma. Some teachers, with good intention, presented these ideas as authentic to make them easier to accept. This realization brought a quiet, deep sorrow. He reflected, our generation still has the ability to question, to read, to examine what is true and what has been added over time. But what about the next generation? What about our children and their children? In a world full of information, where anyone can speak in the name of the Buddha, what will they rely on? On what foundation will they build their practice? That concern became the seed of something greater. Later, during a pilgrimage to India, he arrived at Bodh Gaya, the place where Siddhartha Gautama awakened over 2,500 years ago. From a distance, when he first saw the Bodhi Tree and the stupa, he broke down in tears. The feeling was overwhelming, and he could not explain why. Inside the sacred space, sitting beneath the Bodhi Tree, he closed his eyes and asked, "What can I do? How can I help protect and preserve the true Dhamma for future generations?" As he sat in meditation, images began to arise in his mind. He saw many stupa spires, standing one after another, like silent guardians of wisdom. In that moment, under the Bodhi tree, he made a vow. If I am given the opportunity, I will build a great stupa site. I will preserve the entire Tipitaka, the Buddha's authentic teachings, engraved in stone. This place will endure for 4,000 years. No matter how much confusion arises, no matter how teachings change, people will always have access to the true Dhamma. When he made this vow, something shifted within him. He felt his whole body move, as if something larger than himself acknowledged that intention. From that day forward, for 7 years, he carried this vow silently. Every act of generosity, every moment of practice, every teaching he offered, he dedicated toward this vision, a place of stone and truth, preserved for future generations. This story is not only about a monk in Theravada robes, who also understands Mahayana compassion. It is a reminder of something deeper. Like the tree and the leaf, one sincere intention connects to something vast. One clear action supports the whole path. Today, in a fast-moving digital world, where spiritual content spreads quickly, but clarity is often lost, his journey raises a question for all of us. Are we seeking what is true or what feels comfortable? And what role do we play in preserving the Dhamma with honesty and care? Whether you are new to Buddhism, a long-time practitioner, or someone searching for meaning, this reflection carries a quiet strength. It speaks from a place of sincerity. If these words resonate with you, take time to listen again. Listen not only to the story, but to the intention behind it. A life dedicated not only to practice, but to preservation. May we each protect what is true. May the Dhamma endure. May all beings benefit. Namo Buddhaya.